You're listening to the Ask Drone U podcast. You ask, we answer your drone questions. Whether you're here to turn your passion into profit or you simply fly for fun, we're a community of learners and teachers who aspire to achieve greatness. We are
Drone U.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Really do appreciate it. And as always, you're listening to another friendly episode of Ask Drone U. My name is Paul.
My name is Rob, and as Paul said, we are very grateful that you're spending a few minutes of your day with us today. We appreciate it immensely, more than you'll ever know. So thank you.
It is more than you'll ever know. We do appreciate the support. Also appreciate the support from all of our friends, family, and pilots. I was kind of MIA last week as I was in San Antonio doing some surveying training as our enterprise trainings are really taking off. So
Indeed.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
It has been a lot of fun.
Big need out there.
We are back in the saddle this week. Lots of news too. Just for everyone who is expecting a news show, the only person to blame this week is me, just because it was my wife's birthday. Mother's Day is this coming weekend, and then it's our anniversary after that. So it's just a lot of family stuff going on for me right now, and I'm just trying to honestly stay on top of it all. So
it's important stuff. You got to stay on top of that.
It really
more
is.
than anything, actually.
It really, really is. So hope you are finding the work-life balance. Don't forget to always do something to challenge yourself, do something that scares you, and don't forget to spend some time on yourself as well. But that's going to bring us into our question for the day, which is brought to you by us. Thank you. Thanks for just joining us. We appreciate it.
Hello, my name is Richard, calling from Ireland. First of all, I just want to thank you at the Drone U for providing this platform for excellent drone content. I'm a beginner to drones, but I'm just looking for a bit of advice on what type of drones would be best suited for the purpose of recording videography and even some photography for Instagram particularly, or any social media. So I'm just looking for what type of drones would be best for easily recording video just of things like touristy buildings. So recording that and being able to, as easy as possible, transfer that to a cell phone with as little post-processing as possible. Perhaps being able to use some sort of an app or a program on a phone to lay some audio over the video. And if possible, a drone that's easy to fold up and keep, easy for travel. So I've heard a lot of things about different drone types like DJI Mavics, then they've got DJI Zoom types, and there's an Air one I think I heard about as well. So there just seems to be a lot of information out there, but it's hard for me to pick out, a drone which I could use, which would be probably best suited for this purpose. Any advice on this would be greatly appreciated, and thank you again.
Ooh, thank you, Richard. Ireland, that'd be a great place to be flying your drone. Beautiful country over there. Not that I've been. Have you been to Ireland?
I have not been to Ireland. No, I have not been to Ireland.
Definitely a bucket list item for me. And when I go, I'm going to take what Paul recommends. No, I don't know. The Air's probably fine for this, right? The Mavic Pro.
No. I wouldn't. I mean, it depends on what he's after, Rob. We gotta. Once again, if people ask these questions, it's like, well, what are you after? What is the deliverable? And if he's someone who's trying to focus on quality and showcasing a story, then obviously something that takes great photos and great video, like he said, is going to be necessary. So I would say no to the Mavic Air, for the simple reason that gimbal is going to roll anytime he needs to do some serious travel. Meaning he's gotta move at a fast rate of speed. And he wants to be able to articulate the camera in a yaw fashion, maybe as he's trying to roll hard, and the Mavic Air is just not going to do that.
Well, but I think what he was saying is that he is looking to just get some kind of pretty pictures and pretty video, not necessarily from a cinematic standpoint, but things that he would be posting to social media. And he didn't say why, but he said interesting buildings, for example. So he didn't say anything about, for example, tracking anything, tracking people, tracking motorized vehicles, etc. So, but I understand your point, and it depends on the quality of what you're looking for and where you're going to post those things, and if you're trying to sell. But so he was just looking for stuff that would be very simple to capture, portable, and the images and the videos could be manipulated fairly simply on some sort of app on his phone. So I think he's looking for relatively basic stuff, is the sense that I got from his question.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he wants something where, speed is your friend, so you can download something maybe right through the app. I will say, whenever you are traveling and you want to get some footage out there, obviously ease of access is going to make everything really important, right? You don't want to have to take out, the card, throw it into your computer because you're taking the whole drone out. You may not be able to keep it in your carry-on with you. I got to say, I love my Mavic 2 Pro. For ease of use. I really wish DJI would kind of remove some of the no-fly zones, though, because according to the Supreme Court, once you buy a vehicle, you own it. So it's kind of unfortunate that that's still happening. And it'll be interesting to see who challenges that in court. But I will say what I do like about the Mavic 2 Pro is that through the DJI Go 4 app, I can download photos that I want. Only thing that I'll warn you on is if you shoot H.265 video from your Mavic Pro, downloading that video onto your phone is going to be a task that may test your patience and to get it to work. I know that there's some little trick to get it to work, but frankly, if I download a video to my phone, I should be able to watch it no matter what. And with H.265 video, I'm still having issues. I know there have been software updates. I just updated the software on my phone, so I don't really know what the issue is at this point. So I'm still shooting an H.264 on the Mavic 2 Pro. I love the Mavic 2 Pro because of the 10-bit color. For anyone who's trying to shoot 4K 60 with it, it doesn't really shoot 4K 60. It says that it shoots 4K 60, but the edges of the frame become really blurry, and you have a lot of issues with that. I love the Mavic 2 Pro because it's really portable. It's very flexible, but because of that 10-bit color, it really does have the best color gamut. Frankly, it takes better pictures than a Phantom, and because it's highly portable and highly adaptive, I think that's why the Mavic Pro line has really, it's really taken off, literally. It's the top-selling drone, but I know a lot of people are also like, hey, should I buy the Mavic 2 Pro or should I buy the Mavic 2 Zoom? And, the thing is that it's really a trade-off because I would say just completely ignore the Mavic 2 Zoom. It's a total waste of money. You should just get a Mavic 2 Enterprise because it is a Mavic 2 Zoom, except now you have a light that you can use to get some really cool shots that other people can't use. Like, for example, if you're in Puerto Rico and you really want to showcase how the foliage has grown back from the hurricane and how beautiful it is, you could do essentially a sunset flight and then point the light down and light up the foliage as you,
that'd be cool.
Are, coasting over it. There's just so much more creative aspects that you can use with the Mavic 2 Enterprise. And I've been wanting to do a video on YouTube for a long time, and maybe I should just get off my lazy butt and do it. I wanted to say something much more aggressive, but I kind of honed it back. But at the end of the day, I mean, when it comes to the vertigo effect, when it comes to, video, you have so many more options with video on the Mavic 2 Enterprise than you do a Mavic 2 Pro. But if it's all about stills and getting the right image, the Mavic 2 Pro is really the best. I've been battling with this myself, Rob, about, what is better, Mavic 2 Enterprise or Mavic 2 Pro. And the Mavic 2 Pro color gamut just really creates imagery that is so beautiful and it's so rich and it's got such depth in the color and the contrast. You don't get that from a Mavic 2 Zoom or the Mavic 2 Enterprise. It's still that same, I keep calling it the GoPro sensor. It's not really the GoPro sensor. It's the sensor GoPro used to use,
Similar.
the 1/2 sensor, very, very, very small. So,
Sounds like your recommendation for what he is trying to do is the Mavic 2 Pro, which is not a surprise.
yeah.
And the Mavic 2 Enterprise is going to be what, another $700-800 over the Mavic 2 Pro or the Mavic 2 Zoom. So it's more of an investment.
I think you might be right on that. But again, having the speaker, so this all comes down to, are you want to focus on photos or videos? Because video, you have so much more flexibility for creative aspect, for getting really cool shots of people and subjects and places that other people aren't doing. And the fact of the matter is, if you want to be important and noticeable, you've got to do really cool, unique that other people just frankly aren't doing because they're not using their brain. They're just copying other people. So I guess it really comes down to what type of storyteller are you? If you're the one that's constantly pushing themselves to do better and better, like Jake, perfect example, Mavic 2 Enterprise is going to be the go-to drone. But if you're into just taking pretty pictures and...
Which there's nothing wrong with.
No,
right?
I'm not trying to degrade that whatsoever. Then absolutely, I totally understand it. So...
Very cool.
Yes.
I think that helps.
So anyway,
let me just throw out the Autel. Would you throw that in there, or just only if you need to fly it somewhere where DJI says you can't fly? Is that the only time you'd really throw that in there for this conversation?
Well, that's a very solid question. There's supposed to be a new Autel drone this summer with a sensor that's going to compete with the Mavic 2 Pro. And frankly, if that were to happen, then the answer would be 100% yes. Because I'm just sick of having someone, and I'm just representing as well what the community is saying online. People are sick and tired of dealing with this stuff. It's like, we purchased something from you, we own it. And DJI is still doing some really shady crap, like if you don't update your firmware, all of a sudden you have a camera sensor error, and they literally say check hardware, and it's not the hardware, it's just how they force you to do a firmware upgrade. And it's getting to a point where we're like, okay, we see what you're doing. DJI has now been the biggest hindrance to their growth is now themselves. There really is an opportunity for someone else to come in here and knock it out of the park.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Frankly, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for DJI and that there's not going to be a new drone for another year, because now I get to catch up on all our classes. So thank you, DJI. Really appreciate it. But we can't sit here and be afraid to speak our minds about what's really going on in the industry right now. We are not fanboys of any particular manufacturer. But it is true that there is a very real opportunity for someone else to come up in the world. And I think people are really looking for it. And I know I am.
I don't think you're alone.
Yeah. So.
And I think DJI is aware of that. They're in the forums as well. They know what people are talking about.
True.
They're not dumb, that's for sure.
True.
Might not agree with strategy, but they're not dumb.
No, I couldn't agree more.
Well, all right, Richard, thank you for the question. If you have a follow-up question, feel free to go right back to where you went before to ask it. AskDroneU.com. We'd love to hear from you again, and we'd love to hear from everybody else. And I would imagine, just like Richard's question, there are a lot of people that had that same question other than him, and he asked it, and so it benefited a lot of other people. And so I hope that's how you look at this. We'd love to hear from you. AskDroneU.com. Get those questions in. It is a privilege every time we get a new email or a new notice that there's a question come in. We really appreciate it.
We do really appreciate it. We appreciate you listening too. So it's the fuel to our fire. So thank you. And
Absolutely.
On that bombshell, that is going to do it for us today. My name is Paul.
My name is Rob.
And this is Ask Drone U.